Hello, hello, my beautiful sacred masculines and anybody else who finds their way to this channel. Welcome to Deep Penetration with Star. Are you ready to get in there and feel all the gorgeous sensations we feel when we deep dive into it all? Me too. This very much turns me on, getting deep into our process and our spiritual growth and sacred sexuality and our sensual energy. That is just like where my passion is, where I come alive and where I really feel most connected. So what are we doing here this week? Each week we cover a new topic, kind of whatever's up for me in the moment. We kind of deep dive into that, and then we visit the tarot and oracle cards to open it up for us and unpack it a little bit more so we can go even deeper in, because it feels so good. So what's been up for me lately? Here I am in Bali and just got here a few days ago, and it is just this gorgeous, lush paradise. As you can see behind me, it is stunning here, exquisite, and the energies are really powerful, and there's a real purification energy here, and I am feeling it deeply. Just things are just, awarenesses are coming in, insights are happening, shedding, releasing stuff, and just some more clarity is coming through. So this is why we make pilgrimage, right? Pilgrimage to special sites on the planet that have a very powerful energy, a powerful spiritual energy to support our growth and our evolution. Of course, we can do this at home wherever we are, right? But making pilgrimage to sacred places where the energy is really powerful really supports our process too. So, and then getting out of our normal routine, getting out of our comfort zone, really drastically supports our evolution as well, and the insights, because we're opening up. We're opening up our minds and our energy bodies to new experiences that spark things that are maybe laying dormant when we're just going about our everyday life. We get stuck in these kind of patterns and routines, and we kind of get on autopilot a bit, so when we intentionally take ourselves out of that routine, it allows for new energies to come in, and we start seeing things in a different way. And so I'm just super passionate about pilgrimage and travel, and learning new cultures, visiting and experiencing new cultures, and new sites, and the gorgeous energies on the planet. So that's what I'm doing here. And what I've been contemplating recently is, just as I look around, I talk about and say and hashtag, create your own reality, but this is the reality I've created for myself. I've gotten very clear on what really turns me on, what I am super passionate about, and those things are world travel, being in luxurious, gorgeous settings, and traveling with the beloved, the sacred masculine, which is an internal energy for me. I'm really coming into a greater harmony, union, and balance of the sacred feminine and sacred masculine within, which is the tantric path, finding that balance and union within ourselves, and then it shows up in the external world, right? So for me, the beloved isn't necessarily just one particular person. It's that energy, that sacred masculine energy, that union of the sacred feminine and sacred masculine. And we take that with us wherever we go, right? Because it's in our hearts. When we've done the work and we've come into our hearts, and we are in that union and connection within ourselves. So and having beautiful spiritual conversations, that's the other part of what turns me on, what I'm passionate about, and the sacred sexuality, right? Because to me, it's all intertwined, it's all together. You don't separate the sexuality from the spirituality, from the luxury. This is sensual, right? Look at all of this. All of my senses are alive here. This is super sacred sensuality and sexual energy, because it's just like, wow, I'm way turned on by everything in my environment, and the beautiful energy here. So I've gotten very clear on what my intentions are, how I want to live my life, and I've done the work to align my frequency with those frequencies, and abundance is part of that too. Beautiful, healthy, organic food is a part of that too. So when we say create your own reality, we tend to be, well, we're creating our own reality all the time. Just a lot of us are doing it at a very unconscious level, and we're repeating these unhealthy patterns that we've learned and inherited and taken on throughout our lifetimes, throughout the systems we've grown up in, throughout our unhealthy relationship patterns, codependent relationships we've been in, from our families we've taken it on. And through that, when we're just kind of moving about with those energies, with that conditioning, that is our frequency, and the external matches that internal frequency, the frequency of our energy body. That's just physics. It's how the universe works. When we are vibrating at a certain level, we align with other things that match that level. So the work is, if you're not happy and content and living the life of your dreams and in alignment with what you feel you truly want, and what would really, bring you nourishment and fulfillment and spark your passions and your sensual energy and your sexual energy, like when your creativity, if you're not aligned with that, there's an energetic imbalance that you can very easily address and work with. And I'm here to say that this is what I've done, and it works. It works beautifully. It's powerful, and I have done a lot of work. I've been on my spiritual path for well over a decade, really, working with the energy, doing a lot of energy healing practices, for myself, the Kriya Yoga, mantra, visualization, energy healing, sound healing, breath work, meditation. It's food, working with my diet and nutrition, because that's a frequency that we take into ourselves. It greatly affects how we experience the world, because it affects our body, mind, and spirit, our nutrition. So there's many ways that we start to change our frequency when we get conscious of our ability to do so. That's kind of, many of us aren't even conscious of the fact that we can drastically change our reality when we start changing our frequency, and that we have the ability to do so. We actually have control over the decisions we make. A lot of us go through life making decisions based on what other people have told us our decisions should be, where we should go to school, what career we should have, how we should do relationships, should we get married, do we have kids. We've been told what the American dream is, or whatever dream in your culture. There's traditions, there's standards, there's the norms that we've been handed. This is what a good life is supposed to look like, and it tends to actually not work out for a lot of people. When we start taking our power back and recognizing, like, maybe we have different ideas of what's really truly going to support us, and we decide, like, okay, I'm going to start making some different decisions here. I'm going to kind of push back on that and recognize where that doesn't actually align with me. So I'm going to start making some different decisions. I'm going to start looking at my nutrition, because my health is off, and my mind is scattered or heavy, or emotions are dense. Nutrition can be a really big part of that. So when we start changing what we're putting into our body, our energy changes, our emotions change, our thought patterns change. It's a very powerful, easy, simple practice to work with nutrition. A lot of people are really locked into what they eat and have a really hard time giving up foods and moving outside of that. But powerful, powerful, powerful things happen when we do that. Again, don't take my word for it, but just try it. I know how attached people get to their food. I know how attached people are to bread and gluten. I know how attached people are to their dairy, to their sugar, to their soda pop. But when you clear those things out, and even I guide people to just try it for a month and see what happens. If nothing changes, no harm, no foul. You go right back to it. That stuff isn't going anywhere. It's always going to be there, right? So this is how we start playing with, once we get conscious and recognizing, like, wow, actually I can make some different decisions here for myself. let's explore, let's play, let's see what happens. Approach it as a science experiment. What happens when I cut gluten out from my diet for 2 months, even a month? Go crazy and go 3 months. See what happens to my body, mind, spirit. What happens to my emotions when I cut something out that could potentially be causing me issues. And then we just start playing from there. And then once we see like how easy some of this has, how simple some of these things are, when we just start making some different, more conscious decisions for ourselves in all areas of our lives. Like, oh, okay, how do I feel when I keep watching these crime dramas, and how do I feel when I keep watching, murder mysteries and kind of filling myself with that type of energy? What happens if I cut that out for a month? Does that change anything? Do I feel any differently? Does my energy body change at all? And we start experimenting and seeing what supports us, and when we listen, we feel into our intuition, and we start, when we ask and open to receive messages, we start getting guidance around what energies or what activities, what people might not be the healthiest for us. The messages, signs, and symbols are actually everywhere, and we just choose to kind of ignore them and avoid them and talk our way out of them, logic our way out of them, because we want things to be a certain way. This happens a lot with relationships. Like, we deeply want that certain connection, so we ignore all the all the signs and symbols. Are like, maybe that's not the best thing for you, actually. So then we need to make some different decisions and decide what is healthy for us. So it's learning to listen, it's learning to trust ourselves, it's learning to open up to new ways and new experiences and new ways of doing and approaching life. So, but my point is, I'm here to tell you, like, when I sit here and I look around and I look at the reality that I have created for myself, I got very clear on my intentions, and I started doing what I needed to do to drop the energies that were blocking me from having this experience. The insecurities, the low self-esteem, the lack mentality, the unworthiness, thinking I didn't deserve the life that I truly wanted, because who was I to think I could travel the world in luxury with the beloved and just enjoy life. We're taught that we're supposed to work 40 plus hours a week. You have to put in this much time, you have to do this, that, and the other to get here and there. When you retire, maybe you can start living the life that you want. We are given a lot of rules, and I've pushed back on these rules really hard, and it's it's not been without its challenges, but that's life, right? I mean, that's fine, but I'm really seeing the fruits of all of this now, all of the work, all of the clearing, all of the realigning, all of the clarity, the getting very clear on what I want, because that takes a while for us too. We can be so disconnected from our hearts that we don't truly know what we want, and we've been told what we're supposed to want so much that we really have to, like, get in there and pick that apart and go, wow, is that really what I want? Or am I just taking that on from somebody else? Have I just embodied that so much, the cultural norms? Have I embodied them so much that I don't actually know what I want? And a lot of people started this place like, I don't know what my passion is. That's totally fine, and that's part of the clearing too. As you start clearing out these heavy energies, the conditioning, the limiting belief systems, the lack, the unhealthy patterns, the relationship patterns, as you start clearing that out, doing different practices, consciously making decisions to choose differently, and we start opening it up more, the energy starts moving. Our passionate, sensual, sexual energy starts moving, and then we can start to see, we start opening up and go, oh, that's where my energy is trying to go. That's what my heart's trying to say to me. But we have to get in there. We have to get deep in there, open it up. Open it up and see what the energy is trying to say to us. Where are we being sparked? What is igniting us, and what is turning us on, and where do we want to follow that delicious sensation that's being sparked for us? It's a gorgeous journey when we allow ourselves that, and when we allow ourselves to open up and to let go of the conditioning of the unhealthy belief systems. And but it's a path, it's I was having this conversation with my friend recently, like, you don't get to just positive affirmation your way out of this. And a lot of people are like, why doesn't that work? I've been doing these affirmations. That's great. But there's some deep, heavy shit that we've been carrying for a long time that's been passed on through generations. These patterns, we've been rocking them out. They're embodied. They're actually in our DNA. So we have to do some really powerful, deep stuff to get in there and clear it out. And positive affirmations, while they're gorgeous and lovely, and absolutely yes, because they are a really beautiful energy that we start retraining our own energy body with. Yes, but it's not, we can't just, that's one piece. That's a piece. Okay, so we've been doing this again. We've been rocking it out for years, generations. On many levels and layers. This is body, mind, and spirit. So we can't expect one little thing to just change our whole experience for us. And I know a lot of people might get discouraged because they're like, I tried that. I did that meditation for a week and nothing happened. It's like, well. You've been creating these energies, and we've been living in these energies, unhealthy energies, for our entire lifetime. It's going to take dedication, determination, discipline, devotion to a new way of life, to that dream, to start changing it in a really big way. Once you kind of commit and really start doing it, things do start moving very quickly. I will say that. It's amazing because our energy body can be so dense. When we start doing anything to open it up, we can really feel that, and we can have some really big shifts and awakenings very quickly. It's again, speaking from experience. Once we start committing to a practice and set the intention and let the universe know, like, hey, I'm ready for a change here. I'm ready to do this differently. It rushes right in and starts supporting you in so many ways, because we need that support, right? We really truly do. This is, again, this is a collective thing that we've got going on here. So getting into that energy and really getting in there and breaking it up takes support. Takes a support from a lot of different places. So that's why, like I said before, all the different practices, which I'm going to speak to my program right now, this 12-week empowered sacred masculine life transformation program, is really all about getting you all the tools that you need. So many different tools to really approach this body, mind, spirit, because again, we need to come at it from all angles. A very holistic approach. We can't just positive affirmation our way out of it. We can't just talk therapy our way out of it. We can't just nutrition our way out of it. That's a piece. Those are pieces. We need to really come at this from a very holistic approach. So this program is all about giving you a number of tools so you can see what works for you, because a tool that might work great for somebody else might not work for you at all. There's a number of things out there that people are so into, and I've tried. I'm like, oh, that looks amazing. I've tried it, and I'm like, yeah. But I keep trying. I keep working with different things. I keep opening up to it, and that's part of the path too. We learn what speaks to us. Some people are very into bhakti yoga, being very devotional, and that's their path. Other people are into maybe being of service more. Other people are really into energy healing and energy work and prayer. There's a lot of different things. Meditation, might be great for some person. Dancing and getting into the body, into sensual energy more, might be great for another. And then a combination of all of these things is really powerful as well. Maybe not attaching to one thing, because we can get really attached to some of these practices too, to our detriment. We can get attached to anything, right, and use anything as a crutch. So that's part of something that we need to be aware of as we go on the path. And that's what this program is about too, also helping you to avoid some of the pitfalls and just be aware of what happens on the spiritual path, what happens when we start getting into our opening up our sensual energy. And when we start going deep into there, right, things come up, and it's really helpful to have a guide as you move along the spiritual path, because it tends to be some common pitfalls that come up, and it's really nice to know ahead of time. And I've just condensed everything that I've learned over my path and put it into this really powerful program to support you on your journey, so you can, cut the time down a little bit, right? It's just super condensed, supercharged. So anyway, this is all about energy. Again, aligning our energy, getting clear, getting into it, getting clear on what we want, what is our passion, what is our purpose, what turns us on, what are our turn-ons, what are our turn-offs. We got to get clear on that too, because some people just, put up with things and think, oh, I should this, I should like that, I should enjoy this, again, because we've been told this is what it's supposed to look like. So getting clear on what doesn't work for us, some practices or some experiences, I tested them out, and that helped me to be like, yeah, no, that's not for me, actually, that's not my jam. So now I know I don't have to waste any more energy in it. But it's getting to that place where you can really trust yourself and trust your intuition and trust what you're feeling. Because I watch a lot of people they don't trust themselves because we've been shut off from our intuition, shut off from our emotions, shut off from our feelings, shut off from our body. We're very much in our mind about a lot of things. So if we can't logic and analyze and reason our way out or in, we shut it down. So yeah, this helps with that too. And this is part of what we learn on the spiritual path. We learn to trust ourselves. We are everything we need right here. Absolutely everything we need. We don't need to outsource it. And we don't need to outsource our power. But we do need the tools to get to that place, to know that, that's true and real. So that's how we look to others to support us and like, oh, okay, that really worked for you. I'm going to test that out because I like where you're at in your life. And this is what I'm really passionate about, like sharing where I'm at, sharing what did work for me. I am now feeling very in alignment with living living my dreams, living the reality that I wanted to create for myself, living the life that really fucking turns me on and that I'm super passionate about and I'm thrilled to wake up to in the morning. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is my life. This is my life. And it can be yours too, whatever you want. Might not be what you want. This is what I want. What do you want? And are you clear on it? And are you aligned with it? And are you living it? No? Let's see what we can do about that to get you aligned, to get you to know, to get you clear on your purpose, or not your purpose, your passion, maybe a purpose comes with that. Who knows? Your purpose really is to be here on this planet and enjoy and live in alignment with your heart. That's your purpose. Are you doing it? Let's get you there. Let's get you there. I'm so freaking passionate about all of us getting to this place, all of us just getting into alignment with our heart, living from our hearts, not from fear, not from conditioning, not from what we've been told we're supposed to want. We got to break free from this if we really truly want that nourishing, loving, feeling, passionate, sexy relationships, experiences, career, job, whatever that turns us on. Oh my gosh, life's too short. We're here to have fun and enjoy. Let's do it. Let's go to the cards. We're going to check those out and see what they have to say to support us on our journey. It really is about aligning our energy and our frequency. It's all about frequency, and I'll deep dive into that a little bit more. I kind of meant to go there more today, but I can get so excited about what I'm talking about and all of this adventure, the spiritual path. So it's very sexy, very sexy, very sexy. It just way turns me on. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, beautiful cards. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Father, Son. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, spirit guides and helpers. Thank you to all the beautiful, sacred, masculine, sacred, feminine energies that we get to work with that support us so beautifully. Thank you, universe. Thank you, angels, archangels. Thank you, beautiful bodies. What wisdom do the cards have to share with us today to support us in our process, to support us stepping strong into doing what we need to do to get where we want to be. Thank you, cards. Ooh, that was 3. I like it. Okay, I'm feeling good about those. What's on the bottom? I love these cards. I love the cards so much. They all, let's see. Okay, this is how they came out. So I'm gonna look at them in this order. The first of the cards, this one came out recently, is, sorry, the lighting here is like a little crazy. That's the 2 of Pentacles. And the Pentacles, as you know, if you've been following this program, Pentacles are about the body here, and as it relates to sacred sexuality, I tend to think of these as the body, but it's also our material world, right? Our outside external world. So, but this guy is really looking to balance all of these elements. So, where can we, as it relates to what we're talking about, bring in more balance to our experience? And then we have out here the Empress and the Emperor, which are the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. So it's really about balancing these energies here, and that supports us on our path, which is all about what sacred sexuality and Tantra is about. And what I'm passionate about sharing us is to come into balance with those feminine and masculine energies within ourselves. And to me, that is the spiritual path, because we've been really out of balance. We've got these this double energy out here. This is where we've been chained and shackled to wounded feminine, toxic masculine, wounded masculine energies, to societal conditioning and limitation, to religious dogma, to addiction, to thought addiction, mental addictions, the thought patterns that we get stuck in. We're addicted to those unhealthy emotions. We get addicted to those too. Anger, sadness, depression, rage, just stress and anxiety. Our body actually gets addicted to those. I highly recommend checking out Joe Dispenza to learn so much more about how emotions and thought patterns create your reality. It's powerful stuff, and part of what we're doing here, incorporating that understanding and knowledge of how much power we have to create our reality when we get control and understand our emotions, our mind, how our thoughts create our emotions create our thoughts. I don't remember how exactly he says it, but when we start understanding that, and when then again we understand how much control we have over these things, we just start to make healthier decisions and start to move in a different direction and break the chains that bind us, these emotional, mental, thought patterns, habits, and chains that bind us. We are addicted to some of these unhealthy emotions, unhealthy codependent patterns, unhealthy sexual expressions. We're addicted, and we can make different decisions. That's the devil energy. We need to break free, break through. Wheel of Fortune, it's time. The wheel is turning in our favor. It's time for these new energies. It's time for you to grab hold of this new energy and let it work for you. And because there's some powerful clearing happening right now on our planet, really clearing this energy. And the more you can step into it and really take control of this experience for yourself, the more empowered, and the more you're going to be creating your own reality. And because we're so beautifully supported right now, things are moving quicker. So anything you can do to support the process, any practices you can be doing, any way that you can start expanding your consciousness and opening up, getting in there. It's that deep penetration, penetrating these energies deeply. And they're gonna break free. And then you're gonna come into this gorgeous, this is the Lover's card. They're in union, harmony, balance. They're greatly supported. The light is here. This is an energy, I think of it more as an internal. It's that balance and that internal energy. When you are balanced and healthy and whole internally and coming from a healthy heart-based place, loving yourself, confident in who you are, courageous, you know your truth, you're ready to live it, you're aligned, you're not worrying about what so-and-so thinks, says, does, what you're being told, who somebody thinks you're supposed to be. You know who you are. You know who you are. You trust yourself. You don't have to outsource your power to any of this bullshit. You are strong and confident in yourself. And you love who you are. You love yourself. This is the journey that I've been on. I did not love myself. I did not have confidence. I was courageous. I've always been very courageous, but I did not love myself. I wasn't secure in who I was. I trusted outside sources to try to tell me who I was supposed to be, or trusted that other people had it figured out, and that those things would get me the happiness that I was longing for. And they didn't. They don't. I did all the things, had the corporate job, bought the house, all that crap, and it wasn't it. It wasn't it. It was dead and empty and a heavy burden, actually. I felt trapped in that house. I felt, it was like a money pit, and it was an ongoing, constantly remodeling the thing, trying to get this thing to fit me, to make me feel happy finally. When the bathroom's remodeled, then I'm gonna feel content. It didn't change a damn thing, and I just kept putting more money into it. It was just so we get trapped in that. We get that job, and like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna go for the promotion. Now I'm gonna go for this position. That'll get me happy. That'll make it. Then I'll feel like I've arrived. It doesn't work. The arrival is in here. You have to arrive within. It has nothing to do with the external shit. That's the fucking devil energy. That's the devil energy. That's what's got you chained and shackled. Chains and shackles all of us until we break free. Until we break free. None of that's going to work for you. You have to love yourself within. And that's what, again, coming back to this Lovers card, the lovers are within, the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine. You're no longer seeking approval from the feminine, from the masculine, from whoever. You're no longer needing a sexual experience to help you to feel whole and complete. You're no longer seeking outside. Now you come into your sexual experiences from a whole, loving place. And I don't mean you need to be in love to have sex with somebody or enjoy sexual encounters, but you're coming from a whole place, not a needy, clingy place, a place of empty, like I need that orgasm to feel like I've achieved something, or it's just a lot of people are very attached to that, or thinking they need to have a sexual partner to feel whole, and that's just not it. That's just not it. Again, that's outsourcing your power. That's more of this energy. It's more of this. That's never gonna work. You gotta come inside. You gotta be confident in your own sexual and sensual energy. You have to feel that inherent orgasm within, an orgasm for your heart, of your spirit. And then you come into union with another, and it's just a whole different experience. It's no longer one of lack and neediness. It's just expansive and liberating, and just like, wow, so passionate, so pleasurable. And I'm not saying we don't have passion and pleasure. We don't need to be enlightened for all this. What I'm saying is, everything can be drastically opened up. It's very different when you come into union with another or with yourself from a place of wholeness and love and loving of the self, not in love. Love has been very, very convoluted and distorted in our society. I mean, just, again, that confidence in yourself and just a wholeness, not needing some external experience, person, factor, whatever, to help you feel complete and to help you feel satisfied and fulfilled and nourished, because it just never comes. It just never comes that way. So that's what all this is about. It's really so clear, and this is the promise. This is the promise, when we get on this path and we do the work and we clear those energies, and we find balance within ourselves, that body, mind, and spirit. But again, this is speaking to the need to approach our spiritual path from a very holistic approach, body, mind, and spirit. And again, I'm going to plug my program. It's coming up starting in June. If you're watching this prior to June 2024, the next cohort is then. And again, we're going to really be working with all this energy, right? And helping you to get clear on who you are and what isn't serving you, and how do you move out of that, with lots of tools and energy healing sessions. That's a really important piece of this program. Is, again, we're approaching this from many different levels, and I do energy healing, sound healing. So and it's shamanic work too. It's going back in time and clearing from all timelines, lifetimes, realms, and dimensions. Again, this is very heavy energy that we've taken on, that lives in our physical body, in our energy body, and we need to come at it from that level. And that's what I have found for my own self and what I've seen for other people on the path. Huge drastic shifts and transformation changes happen when we come in at an energetic level. We bypass, we don't have to talk this to death, let's go beyond that, let's move around that. And I mean, of course we talk about it, we need to bring our mind in as well, but not strictly. We have to work at an energetic level, body, mind, and spirit, but yeah, huge shifts happen when we get into the energy body and clear. We break up those patterns and actually clear them, so we don't have to talk our way through. And talking actually isn't going to help, because it's not a mental issue, it's an energetic issue. And more people are understanding how our quantum experience works, that we are energy. Everything in our reality is energy. So when we approach our healing and clearing at an energetic level, huge things happens. Again, it's me aligning my frequency with the frequency of abundance, wholeness, love, not fear. I've done a lot of clearing to align with the energies of love, joy, abundance, beauty, harmony, balance, because they're all around us. We're just gucked up and aren't aligning with them. We're aligning with the other fear-based energies that are also all around us. So we get to decide, we get to choose, we get to align with whatever we want to align with. And we can do it consciously or we can do it unconsciously, because trust me, you're doing it. You're aligning with energies. You just get to decide if you want to take your power back and start making the decision on what you want to align with. And it really is that simple. I'm not saying this path is super easy and everything. It's just, that you meet a lot of things along the way, but it's gorgeous too. Very empowering. Anyway, I get super passionate about this. I just want us all to be living from our hearts, in alignment with our truth, and confident in who we are, and loving who we are and how we showed up in the world. We get so shut down through so much, through family, through the systems, through religion, through relationships, through marriage, through codependency. We get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until there's barely anything left of us, and then we want, who are we? What do we truly want? We don't even know. And then midlife crisis, right? Because we're like, ah! So I'm just super passionate about helping all of us to, supporting, I like that word, helping, supporting all of us to discover who we are, get the tools we need, get the support we need to come into alignment, get into the truth, deep in there. Who are we? Who are we underneath all of this shit we've been carrying? And the unhealthy belief systems, the limitations, the conditioning. Who are we? Let's get in there. Let's get into our sexual energy, right? What's the truth of that when it's allowed to break free? That's been very repressed and just stifled. Who are we? What happens when it's just free flowing and allowed to move through? Oh my gosh, seriously opens things up. So that's my passion. That's what I'm doing here. I'm so thrilled that you're here. Oh my gosh, we are doing this together, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful journey, and we need each other. We can't do this alone. Trust me, I tried the really independent route. I tend to be rather independent, but the beauty and the real growth comes in the connections we have with each other and the support we get from each other, and learning that we're all in this together. The similarities way outweigh the differences. You know, when we start connecting at a deeper level, we start appreciating that, like, oh my gosh, you're dealing with that too. I thought it was just me. Wow. Whoa. Awesome. And then you just get so much, you just feel so much validation. You feel liberated. You feel a freedom in that. You no longer have to shame yourself or feel guilty or weird or strange or odd. You're like, ah, just part of the human experience. Cool. I can let that go. I don't have to keep carrying that anymore. Liberation and freedom right there, you know, just from connecting with somebody else on the path that's sharing that experience with you. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So on that, I'm going to, you know, when you join the program, you'll be in a cohort with other men that are on this path as well, and you get to connect with each other and have conversation and share about what's going on for you. And then, of course, we have the pilgrimage to the Tantric Sacred Sexuality Pilgrimage to India, which is really about opening up this energy as well, and clearing away all that's no longer serving us. But that's I'm leading a group of men to India to really connect with the sacred masculine, sacred feminine energies that are there. And I think it's really important for men to be able to do this work together and have that camaraderie. And I'm just so passionate about supporting men. It's just been my thing. So again, other people on the path that are passionate about doing the work and devoted and ready to make that big change and transformation and take those big steps to say, yes, I'm ready to claim it. I'm ready to claim my life. I'm ready to claim my power. I'm ready to take it all back, you know, and let's take this step to do that. Because I want this change to happen in a big way, you know, so I'm ready for some epic transformation, which is what this pilgrimage is all about. So anyway, check out more information on my website for more information on the pilgrimage and the program coming up. So we still have the early bird special going on with the India pilgrimage, so be sure to check that out sooner than later. It's very exciting. Let's see, what else do we have to say today? This is such a gorgeous reading, gorgeous. I'm going to cut it off right now. I was going to go to the oracle cards, but I'll just cut it off at this right here. I think that's feeling pretty complete to me. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, if you've watched this so far, that feels very supportive. That's again, that connection that I just, you know, really turns me on, and that I'm so passionate about, which is why I'm into sacred sexuality, right? Connecting with the masculine. I am in love with the masculine, and I love connecting with you all. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Also be sure to check out, speaking of in love with the masculine, check out my one-on-one sessions on my website for really I wasn't gonna say, I'm not gonna say it. Maybe you know where I was going with that. Anyway, one-on-one sessions, sacred sexuality ritual for really sharing sexual energy and creating a lot of intention around that, and really harnessing the energy to send it out into the universe to help create our own reality. Again, it's our frequency. Sexual energy is very powerful, so we harness and utilize that to set intention and get really clear to the universe on what we want to create and call in for ourselves and align with. So there's that, and then I just offer my one-on-one companion sessions as well if you're just wanting to explore sensual energy more and get into that. So check that out, and also be sure to subscribe to my mailing list, which you can do so through my website, and I have a blog on there that's really quite lovely, so check that out as well. And so many resources on there, books, documentaries, films, etc. that I've shared to support you on your sacred sexuality journey. Again, I'm just so passionate about all of us being able to come into union from a more whole, healthy, heart-based place in alignment with our true passions. So coming to that connection with each other from that gorgeous, passionate, sexy place of wholeness. That's sexy. Codependency, neediness, clinginess, emotional wounding, not very sexy, you know. So let's move out of that. Let's move out of that place. Humanity is evolving. Let's rock it out. So Thank you again so much for being here. I am so grateful for your presence, and I love you. I love the sacred masculine. I love the feminine too. Anybody who's watching this video and has made it this far, thanks for being here with me. Hello from Bali, and bye, y'all.